What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the stock market had a pretty strong day today. Yet again, another bounce back. S&P 500 up 17 points, up 0.5%. Dow Jones pretty much break even, up only 2 points. But don't worry, guys. The NASDAQ picked up for the Dow Jones' slack, up 160 points, up over 1.4% on the day. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down the stock market a bit further, taking a look at some technicals, going over the top stocks that I'm looking to buy heading into these next couple of days here in the stock market. And we've gotten 2 straight days of green here. So I want to go over if the stock market correction that we've been seeing is over, whether or not this is a bull trap here. And I also want to talk to you guys about what I did today. And let me tell you, I made some moves in the stock market. So if you guys find value, as always, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, join all the free links down below, whether it's the Discord chat, the Facebook group. Get that one free stock from Webull valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100 into the account. All of those, again, are linked down below. And did I mention, guys, did I mention that they're free of charge? Yeah, go take advantage of all the free links right in the description box. So let's get into it, guys. Markets closed 40 minutes ago, and it was a pretty good day. The bulls won the day across the board, and I want to break it down a bit further here on the 5-day 5-minute. Take a look on the S&P, guys. Yesterday we went from, well, Friday actually, we went from a low at 33.10. We rallied up, closed above 33.30, 33.40, which was a big support last week, right? And we started off this week on a nice gap up yesterday, Monday. S&P went from 33.60 in the morning up to about 3,400, ended up closing at about 33.80. And then today we got another gap up, which A, it told me the bulls are in charge, and B, it told me that we got a big resistance break, which is another reason why the bulls are in charge. And what resistance break is that? Well, notice yesterday on the S&P, we failed breaking out of 3,400. That was the high from yesterday at about 10:20 a.m. here on the East Coast. And today, with the gap up, notice we broke right above 3,400. We actually pulled down. We tested 3,400 earlier in the day, and we were pretty much consolidating above it all the way up until about 1 p.m. here on the East Coast before selling off from about 34.15 down to about 33.90 heading into the close. So overall, you guys are seeing this pattern. It's a higher high, higher low pattern starting to form on the S&P. It's no doubt about it, right? We held yesterday's closing price as a support heading into the close here today, right, on the 5-day 5-minute. And you guys can also notice we also held the 180 SMA here on the 5-day 5-minute. So overall, these past 2 days, it seems like, yeah, the bulls are starting to gain some steam. But the question is now, are they completely out of the woods? Are the bears completely out of this party, right? Is it a bull party now? Are we going much higher in the markets? Not quite yet. Not quite yet, guys. I know you're antsy. I know you're excited. Believe me, I know, guys. I've been there. I'm there. I'm excited. But it's not quite yet. We're not quite yet out of the woods, because take a look here on the S&P. If we go to the 20-day chart, we're still trending under a big resistance from last week. This is going to be a pretty big spot, and that is right around 34.15 to about 34.20. And is there a coincidence there? Well, maybe. We actually got rejected there again. Like I showed you today, we got rejected at 34.20, which goes to show even further how strong of a resistance that is. So what I'm getting to here is, until the bulls get us out of 34.20 on this hourly chart, out of that high from last week, above this resistance on the 180 SMA, I'm not getting too excited, because I understand, and the technicals are showing me this, that we could very well get rejected at 34.20 and go lower from here. Who knows? We could gap down tomorrow, wake up, S&P is under 33.80. You know, it could be going to test those lows at 33.30 from last week, maybe even 33.10. That is very possible as long as we're under these resistances. So it's very important to be patient here, understand that anything could happen within this 3380 to 3420 range on the S&P, and we're not quite out of the woods yet. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think down below there in the comments. And I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be a deciding factor in terms of direction, because remember, the Fed meeting started today on Tuesday, and tomorrow on Wednesday we have a meeting at 2 p.m. where we're going to have a press conference from Mr. good old Jerome Powell himself, and whatever he addresses there, whether it's inflation, the monetary policy, how the retail sales numbers were, how he's reacting to the current economic situation, whatever he touches upon, it's going to shift the market, whether it's for the good or for the bad. And that's really an interesting subject there, and it's going to be interesting to see where the market ends up pushing based on what he speaks and what he talks about. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think about that down below. And you guys can see it on the Dow, right? We had a good day. Yeah, we were only break even, but if we take a look on the 5-day, 5-minute, I could argue that the bulls won the day, regardless of us being break even, because we hit a higher high in this pattern over the past 2 days I'm talking about, right? We hit 28,200. Yesterday's high was only 28,100 roughly, so that's a good sign. We pulled down. We held yesterday's support at about 27,900. We held that low. We rallied into the close today. So yeah, the bulls are doing decent these past 2 days in trading on the Dow, but we're still under a big resistance. Big resistance being under 28,200. And until we get out of there, I am not thinking the Dow is out of the woods quite yet, right? I'm not saying I'm nervous, I'm skeptical. I'm just being cautious, patient, and just waiting for the breakout, right? No one's ever gone broke by sitting on cash waiting for a technical breakout before making a decision, right? That's pretty much what I'm doing at this point in time, right? So keep an eye, like we said, S&P, it's in that little 40, 50 point window where we're going to see a direction pick either tomorrow or maybe later this week. The Dow's in the same spot. It's trading between 27,500 and about 28,200. It's caught in this little, 600, 700, 800 point window, so watch out for direction. If 28,200 fails tomorrow, we could very well be going back down to test the mid-27,000s again. And when it comes down to the NASDAQ, today was a very strong day. The past 2 days in the NASDAQ, Monday, Tuesday, first 2 days of this week, the bulls are in charge, no doubt about it. But if we take a look on the hourly, we're still trending below the 180 SMA. We have still failed, or we're still trading under last week's high at about 11,500. So I'm not rushing quite into any big tech positions at this point quite yet. I'm not rushing into any leveraged ETFs such as TQQQ, which goes up whenever the NASDAQ goes up, or even QQQ, which is not leveraged and it tracks the NASDAQ, right? I'm not really looking to rush into anything at this point. I'm just waiting to see what tomorrow holds, what's in store for tomorrow, right? With this whole Fed meeting, as we understand, Jerome Powell, whenever he speaks, sometimes it does shift the markets, right? And I know you guys would definitely agree with that down below in the comments. So let me know your thoughts. At this point, is the stock market, little sell-off, little correction over? I'm not fully convinced. I'll be quite honest. I'm not fully convinced until we break out of those technical spots on the upside that we just mentioned in the previous couple of minutes. So let's get into what I did today, guys. Like I said, I made some moves today. I locked in a good amount of profits. And the truth is, guys, at this point in my swing account, my main trading account that I work with, I'm in a good amount of cash. I have a pretty good cash position, more cash than I've had here in recent memory. So at this point, I ended up locking in a little bit of profits today in Workhorse Group, WKHS. This is one that I got in at $23 last week. I forget what day, but I got in last week at $23, and today I ended up locking in a little bit. I trimmed a little bit of profit at $25.25. This was actually later on in the day. I believe it was right around here. Actually, Yeah, it was right around here, more midday, later day at about 25.25 there. So I locked in a pretty strong profit. If we take a look, I think it was close to 8-9%. Let me double check for you guys. Yeah, about 9%. So a nice move there on Workhorse. And I also locked in profits, guys, on NEO, right? NEO, man, what a day for this one. It didn't close up too much. It only closed up 2.5%, which is a decent green day here for NEO. But earlier in the day, it was up to almost $20. And, well, it was up to $20.25. So we saw that massive rally, and I was watching that live. We were talking about it in the Discord chat, and there was no way I wasn't going to lock in profits because you guys know I got in literally yesterday at $18.50, right? You know, I don't like using the word luck all the time. I mean, there is... Excuse me, guys. Gee, I'm choking here. There is some luck in the market, of course. Of course there's luck in the markets. But we got really lucky on this one. I mean, I'll be honest. I got in yesterday, 1850, and we called it out Sunday, Monday, right? I call all of these stocks out for the most part, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. Very important, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But we called it out. We said if it breaks this downtrend, it's been cooling off for a couple of trading days. If it breaks, watch out for the rip. And yesterday we got the gap up. Again, I got in at 1850, and we saw the massive run up, and I ended up selling out at, let me check my notes here, guys. It was in the 21s. Yeah, 21.10. And you don't always time the top. It's impossible to time the top every time. But today was one of those days that I pretty much nailed the top here on NEO, selling out on this morning's rally. So I'm very happy with that, guys. And today was a very strong day for me. I'm not tooting my horn. I don't like doing that. I don't like showing off, whatever. I try to be a humble dude, but today was a very big day for me. I'll be honest. You know, 9% on NEO, another almost 10% on Workhorse, and I actually locked in more Tesla profits today. Yesterday I locked in some at 419. Today the stock ran up another almost 10% to 460. I actually locked in some at 445, so I didn't catch the whole move up, but it's okay, guys. Like I said, you can't time the top on everything. I ended up locking in at 445, so I've been making some wins here, making some good money across these stocks, and you guys notice I'm locking in profits, right? I still have some positions open, but I'm moving pretty heavy cash here in anticipation, maybe not for a market collapse. I'm not calling a market collapse, but I am calling some volatility in these next couple of weeks with, you know, the Fed, everything they're doing, the election here coming up in the U.S., that's massive, right? The economy's still struggling, so we might get some numbers there that could shift things. So things are still pretty uncertain, so cash is my friend at this point in time. And I actually also locked in on GDX, so a lot of locking in of profits today across the board for me. GDX is one that I've been holding for I think like 2-3 weeks at this point. I got in at 42.30. I've been holding on to it, and today I sold off on the strength at about 43.05. Not a big gain at all, about 2-3% there, but hey, I'll take it, right? I'll take 2-3%. And I'm also still in Apple at 125-ish, 126. I'm still holding on to that position. AAPL, as well as GLD, which is another gold position, which just gives me exposure to the price of gold overall. So a lot of movement today, guys, a ton. Locking in profits, Workhorse, Tesla, NEO, GDX. I'm still holding Apple and GLD and a little bit of Workhorse. And I'd love to know what you guys are doing down below in the comments. Did you have a good day today? Did you lose money today? Let me know down below in the comments. And let's get into some earnings reports now. We've been talking about two major companies, massive companies that I love, that reported today. We've been talking about these for the past couple of days. Adobe is one, ticker symbol ADBE. This is a company that arguably benefited during this crisis. Maybe it didn't benefit, but it was definitely not affected as much as, let's say, retail or restaurants, hotels, obviously, right? Because it's a software-based business. They have Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, After Effects, all of the programs, right? You can pay monthly for these, and that's an awesome business model. And there's arguably a lot more people using these software services now, me included, right? I'm using Photoshop. I'm not a big After Effects guy or Premiere guy, quite honestly, but if I had to choose an editing software, I'd go and download Premiere if it wasn't for, good old iMovie, which is free of charge. That's what I use. But, if I didn't have iMovie and I was editing some crazy stuff, I'd go to After Effects or Premiere, right? So these businesses arguably benefited, or maybe not benefited, like I said, but they definitely weren't affected. And the earnings reflect that. They actually had earnings, EPS of $2.57 versus $2.41, so they beat there on EPS, and revenue came in at $3.23 billion versus $3.16 billion. So a double beat there for EPS and revenue. The stock closed a little bit shy of $500 per share, and it rallied all the way up to $522 on the earnings. Now it's starting to cool off a bit. It's at about $505, $506, but still it's up about almost $10, actually exactly $10 after hours, which is a nice 2% move to the upside here on Adobe. So I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving it. This move is definitely giving us some upwards momentum on the stock. And if you guys take a look, this could be straight away going to 550. Maybe not 550, but 540 at this point. We broke, with this move today, we broke the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. That was a big resistance over the past couple of days. And the next big resistance at this point, if we take out 510, which you guys can see we're under that right now, but if we take out 510, I think Adobe could fill the gap all the way back up to 530 to about 540, which gives it around, let's take a look here, guys, about a 3 to 5% potential for profit from where it is right now. So I'm really liking Adobe. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. And you guys should definitely go take a look deeper into their earnings. Obviously, I can't jump deep into the earnings, or this video would be an hour plus long, and who's going to watch that long of a video? I don't know. Maybe somebody would watch it, but I think that's a bit too long. But yeah, go check out, take a look, what they did in terms of, guidance, all that good stuff. Maybe even listen to the conference call to get more, context, understanding of what's going on. I'm probably going to do that later tonight because I do love this business and I do want to actually build a long-term position on it if it does end up selling off a bit more. But that's a bit different, right? That's a bit different from short-term trading it. Either way, Adobe, I'm watching out for you. And FedEx is another one here that we called out. It's crushing it here after hours, guys. Wow. Remember a couple videos ago I said I'd be very happy if FedEx were to go to $200. Well, it didn't happen. I just got my heart broken, guys. It went from 230 to 260. So it didn't go from 230 to 200. It went from 230 to 260, and it makes sense. It makes sense because their EPS came in at 487, and guys, that obliterated estimates. Estimates came in at 2.69. So almost a double up. They crushed EPS. And revenue crushed as well. $19.3 billion in revenue versus $17.5 billion estimated. So a double beat there on FedEx. And if we dive deeper into the live news tab here, maybe we can see some more insights. But again, like I said with Adobe, go listen to the conference call. Go dive deeper, read some articles. Actually go to the investor relations and dive into their quarterly report, right? You'll be able to see some more insights there to learn more about how, they did on a further basis than just from EPS and revenue. But overall, from a bird's eye view here, double beat, very strong. And if you guys remember their last earnings report, we saw something very similar. Take a look here. Very similar action. They reported and the stock rocketed from 135 up to 150, and it's very similar to what's happening now. We consolidated a bit. Now we're rocketing up. So for me, this is a very good sign for FedEx. I'm not looking to buy it necessarily at 250, at 260. If we settle down a bit, maybe I'd buy on the pull down. And overall, there could be potential on this stock, and I'm not sure obviously when it will get there, but I think it could end up getting at some point back up to the 270s. I mean, at this point, we're almost there, being at 260. So who knows? We could end up going to 270 this week or next week if this upwards momentum from the earnings continues. So what are your thoughts on Adobe and FedEx? Let me know. And these are the main two that I'm watching at this point, as earnings season is pretty much over. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get into some other stocks, right? DraftKings broke a very big resistance yesterday. We didn't talk about it in yesterday's video. Quite honestly, I was not watching DraftKings yesterday much. I was watching other stocks, but it went up 17% in a day. And we can see here the massive move. And let me double check. Was there a big catalyst that came out? That doesn't happen without a catalyst coming out. This massive move from 40 to 45. It must be, maybe it's price targets getting raised. Let's take a look here. News from yesterday. Either way, Williams stock surges on, ESPN deal. I'm not too sure exactly. On the back of deal with ESPN. There you go. ESPN, they have some sort of deal at this point. So DraftKings, it broke a massive level of resistance that we've been talking about now that could send it up to the 50s and who knows, maybe even the 60s, right? This stock just IPO'd a couple months ago. I forget exactly, but this stock can, now that it broke 45, which it's been struggling there for a while, take a look here on the chart, guys, on the 184 hour. 45's been a struggle point for months, ever since the beginning of June, right? We struggled there. So now that we finally took it out, we're trading almost at $50. Maybe we start running to those analyst price targets at $55, $57, $60. So watch out for this upwards momentum on DraftKings to continue, and take a look at the volume here, guys. Holy crap, the volume is kicking in. 30 million in volume. I think that was yesterday. It died down a bit today, earlier, actually later on in the day today. Yesterday, the volume kicked off strong in the morning, and it ended off even stronger. But today, it was strong in the morning, but then volume died down later on in the day, which I guess that makes sense a little bit. We're seeing a bit of weakness here in the stock, later on in the day. So we'll see if that continues tomorrow. We'll see what direction it picks. And if it sells off anywhere near 45, 46, I think that could be a nice dip buy opportunity for DraftKings. And a massive tech giant here that I'm watching is good old Google. Today, Google was up 1.5%. It's still about $200 off its highs. And you can see it here that we can see it's $200, but that's around 11%. So from 1,700 down to 1,500, that's 11%. Overall, it seems like we're holding the uptrend here, as you can see on this 4-hour chart. All we need to see at this point is a confirmation. We need to see a confirmation of a breakout. If we end up taking out those highs from yesterday at 1560, last week at 1575, we might be able to see a move back into the 1600s, and especially if this 180 SMA here breaks on the hourly chart. So I'm watching Google here. Square had a nice day as well today, up 7%, finally breaking out of last week's highs. The 180 SMA here on the hourly chart, that is looking very, very strong for a reversal, and we closed at 155, and quite honestly, guys, I can see Square, especially if the overall markets come back here, maybe we don't see a further correction. I could see Square moving back up to the 160s, maybe even testing those highs at 170. And even here on the 4-hour chart, we took out a big resistance. And yeah, it's looking pretty bullish for me. So any pull down, maybe 150, 148, maybe even 152, I think that could be an entry point here on Square. And another one is Fastly, ticker symbol FSLY. Good old Fastly here, guys, has been trending sideways for a little bit. You guys can see it here. other than that pop into 96, 97, we've been trending sideways from 75 up to about 88. Now we're looking like we're holding 75 again, rallying back up into the mid 80s, maybe to test 90 again. So I'm thinking if Fastly is able to take out those highs from last week at about 85, 86, 87, maybe we can make a move back up into the low 90s for Fastly here. So watch out what direction we end up picking. If it pops above 90, we could end up seeing an explosion here. And a video game stock that's coming back very slowly but surely is Activision. Ticker symbol ATVI, up 3.3% today, solidifying $80, 79, $80 as a big support. We broke out of the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, but we're still trending under $82. And for me, $82 is a big resistance, as you guys can see here, stemming back from the beginning of July. So I need to see 82 break, and from there, I can see Activision getting back to the mid-80s, maybe even back up to $88, $90 per share. And an interesting company here, a SPAC play, is DPHC. This is known as Diamond Peak Holdings, and they're actually looking to take Lordstown Motors public. And I believe this is going to go through in the fourth quarter here, and this is going to be interesting. The stock is looking to go under the ticker symbol RIDE, ticker symbol RIDE. And this transaction, and by the way, this went through, I believe, in the beginning of August, they announced this. This transaction includes a $500 million fully committed PIPE private investment in public equity, which includes $75 million of investments from General Motors, also more investments from Fidelity Management, Wellington Management, Federated Hermes Kaufman Small Cap Fund. A lot of managements here, funds are investing into DPHC, Lordstown, to go public here. And they also bought a manufacturing facility from GM in Ohio. I believe the deal was around, I think it was somewhere from $20 billion, or was it, no, maybe not, no, not $20 billion, $20 million to $40 million. And overall, the stock has been hot, no doubt about it, from $20 to $30 in just the past couple of days. And we're seeing some weakness finally, down 5% here. It's looking to maybe sell off. And I talked in the chat today, guys, I'm looking to maybe pick up some at $20, $21 if it does sell off there. And today's 5% red day kind of points to me that we might be selling off down to that low 20 point. And I would love to get in there, quite honestly. I think Lordstown has a pretty solid opportunity ahead of itself. Obviously, the massive what are they doing? What are they called, guys? The word's slipping my head. The trucks, right? The truck market for EVs is going to be huge. And they have a truck called the Endurance. And if you guys didn't know, Workhorse actually owns a 10% stake in Lordstown Motors. So I'm loving it. They just purchased a manufacturing facility. They have nice production lined up. It seems like a nice product as well. So if any dip occurs here on DPHC, I'm looking to maybe pick up some shares. And two comeback plays here to end off the video, guys, that could end up seeing some big gains coming up here. Work. Slack Technologies, ticker symbol WORK. It's been consolidating a bit recently, guys. Ever since they reported earnings, the stock went from 30 to 23. Now the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days, we've been seeing straight up consolidation. So what that's telling me is we're setting up for a move either to the upside or to the downside. Now, all we have to do is wait and see what direction we pick. I think if $26 breaks, which is a big resistance here, I think we might be going up from there, maybe back up to $28, $29. So watch out for Slack Technologies here on a potential comeback. And another one that we talk about sometimes here on the channel is Intel. Ticker symbol INTC, up almost 1.5% today. Nice green day. We closed at about $50. We actually broke above $50 earlier in the day. I'm liking this if it ends up holding roughly $51, $52 per share. Anything above $52, I think Intel, there's a lot of opportunity for it to fill the gap back up to the higher $50 levels. So overall, guys, those are the main stocks I'm watching at this point, my thoughts on the market, some technical analysis, what I've been doing here as of late. And I'd love to know what you guys are up to. As always, I love chatting with you guys in the comment section. And also, if you want to chat further, join our free Discord chat, link down below, and our Facebook group. And if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me and also subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want free money, take a look at the description. There's a Webull link there. If you actually deposit $100 into that account, you get one free stock valued up to $1,600, and I also get a free stock since it is an affiliate link. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all of you watching this video. Stay safe out there. Good luck in the markets as always. Thanks for watching again. Peace out.